Good morning, everybody. My name is Deborah Byrne from Deborah Byrne, known across social media as DBpsychology. And this week's blog, which I feel is an important one considering we're coming up to the Christmas season and a lot affected by it. Substance abuse induced psychosis. Talk about now. It is not a psychotic disorder. So just to clarify it is not the normal, if you like, a psychotic disorder. What it is it relates to substance abuse. Now, what is substance? Is drugs, legal and illegal, alcohol, and they are taken abused. They are taken in large quantities and abused. So please don't think you will get this if you are taking your normal, the way you're supposed to, the way your GP is them to you. So don't panic. That is not what this is about. This is abusing those drugs. It's abusing any type of drug or any type of alcohol. Realize this does require an A&E admission, so you need to call an ambulance. So if your loved one is suffering from this, then that's very, very important. Now, why I'm talking about it now is we're coming up to Christmas, and a lot of people, particularly if they're addicts or if they are, if they have some form of even a mild addiction, if you like, to alcohol, people tend to go on benders or they drink more heavily, or and bender would be a term that a common term. They might take more than would be normal at this period of time. So, and as a result, this can happen. Everybody involved, including the person that, because they don't understand what's happening. The symptoms, and because I think people really need to know them, they're primarily about hallucinations and delusions. So the seeing and hearing things that aren't there, and then having unfounded suspicions, suspicious beliefs, things like that, and that's the delusional part of it. But there are other symptoms as well. Anxiety, aggression, agitation, confusion, depression. They go off their food, go off their eating, fatigue, restlessness. They get the shakes. I think most people would recognize that with alcoholism, or body tremors if they are coming off, because it's when somebody is actually or coming down from having ingested too much. This is when they get it. So the shakes, body tremors, mood swings, sound and touch, and of course then there could also be suicidal thoughts. So that this time of the year, because as I said, people can take far too much alcohol sometimes, or maybe they'll try a drug for the first time. So a parent might be an idea that you're aware of this. It doesn't always happen, but it can happen. So when somebody has been out and they come home, and then it's when the alcohol, or they will get this condition. There are early warning signs that this might happen. They are a bit harder to detect, so I will talk about these now. So these will be more for people that have addictions, and so it's a continuous thing. You may see some early warning signs like a decline in their work or schoolwork, social withdrawal, isolation, isolating themselves, neglecting their personal care, their hygiene, inability to concentrate, outbursts, paranoia and mistrust, and unprovoked hostility, things like that. They will actually be strange. It's a strange behaviour. So there'll be out of character behaviours. this could be an early warning sign that this is going to happen. And as I said, that is more likely to, you would more likely to see a pattern of that if you're in a relationship with somebody with an addiction. But the first lot of symptoms I talked about, those are the ones that will be the ones that says they're in this psychosis and they need A&E, and you need to take them to A&E. So I talk about the causes, diagnosis and the treatment. The diagnosis and treatment will be, of course, done by a doctor. They will be in hospital, and that will be taken care of. Very specialist care to come down and to allow their body to. In saying that, this type of psychosis, and that's why it's not the same, I said this at the start, is not the same as a psychotic disorder, in that once the substance has left the body and the person has been treated appropriately, more than likely this will go. This whole thing, this whole episode will go. And so it's recoverable from. The only thing I would say there to you, and I do highlight that in the blog, is if there is a history of psychotic illness in the family, it could trigger that illness. But do check that part of it out in the blog. Now, for family and friends, which is very, very important. And coming up to the season that we're coming up to, as I said, it's a very difficult, you're dealing with an addict for the most part, not just somebody that's gone on a bender or somebody who's drank too much over the Christmas period. You need help, and you need to talk this through. So if this has happened, you really need to be talking this through with somebody. And you have to understand that you're in a relationship with an addict, and therefore you are most likely a codependent. And I talk about codependency on the blog. I have a blog about it, and I talk about all the other of the types of addictions. I have a range of addictions up there now, all available, all on my blog at www.DeborahByrne.Psychology Services. Family and friend really needs to know it. You can't change this person. The only person you can change is you. You can't actually get them help unless they want you to, unless they come to you and say, I need help, I'm desperate. Or, this type of thing may be a cry for help and they're very frightened. You're going to have to judge the cues there, but you'll know by them yourself. They're your loved one, they're your friend, that they are no matter how much you cajole them or pour the bottles of alcohol down the drain, or no matter what, you're not going to change. Help them along to rock bottom by doing any of these things. Basically, you have to let them keep going and let them hit their own rock bottom. This, you have to hear this. You did not cause this addiction, and no matter what, they will still use substance. They will try and manipulate you. They will say, "Oh, it's your fault," or drinking because you had a row, because you painted the sitting room. I mean, stupid things. You drove the car, and I drove. Be stupid excuses, because they're not excuses. They're just, and they're. So no matter what you do, they're going to use the substance if they're an addict. You cannot cure this disease. So please stop covering for them. That is the best thing you can do for them. Drop bottom. For them, stop lying for them, and stop enabling them. The best thing you can do is focus on yourself and protect yourself. You have to think, am I physically, or the children, if there's any children involved, physically, emotionally, or psychologically, being abused? I have to protect myself there. And the biggest one, I suppose, with most addicts is you have to financially protect. So you have to look at, are they getting access to your bank account and things like that? You have to stop that. You have to, maybe if you had a joint bank account, you have to stop using that joint bank account, that you set up your own bank account. So, and if you have run into debt, talking to somebody like MABS, which is the Money Advisory Bureau in Ireland, is an organisation like that. They will help you. They will help you deal with that. money, no buying the drugs, no buying the alcohol. That's enabling. And as I said, focus now on yourself and get your own counselling. If you need a 12-step program yourself, I would highly recommend them. If your children, they get help. Your GP is normally very helpful. They can refer you to counselling. In Ireland, they can help you to get counselling through the HSC. And there are other organised voluntary groups that run counselling for people on a means tested basis. So it'll be a reduced basis. And do check out a lot of counsellors and psychologists will do a reduced rate too. And getting you better. And for a lot of the time, the addicts will then, once you get help, your addict tends to follow suit. Not all the time, but a lot of the time they tend to follow suit, and they get help and they hit their rock bottom and they go get help. This morning blog is that, and that is about self-care in the run-up to the holidays and over the holidays and what you can do. So I'll be talking about that next Saturday morning. For all the blogs on domestic violence and addictions and codependency, again, check out my website, which is at www.deborahbyrnepsychologyservices.com. And I'd say, as always, good morning to Deirdre and to Colette, and thank you all for listening live. And I will talk to you all again next Saturday morning. And thank you all to those that I know there's quite a few. There's actually a substantial amount of people watch these that. So I will enjoy the blog on Monday. Anybody, as always, has any questions, pop them below this, or send me a message on Twitter or on Facebook, anything like that. You can send me a message, Instagram or anything like that, and I will try and get back to you. If I don't have an answer, I will go look for an answer for you and try and give you the help. And I'll say good morning and thank you very much, as always, for listening. Goodbye.